Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm the Gnarly Gnome. Very late tonight. Sorry. I would blame somebody, but it's my fault. I get too excited and I get talking to people, and sometimes the show's late. That's why it's not really a show. It's the Weekly Pint. It's a happy hour. It's an excuse for us to hang out and drink together. And you guys should expect at this point that sometimes it's just not going to happen at the exact time that I say it's going to happen. It's not to say it's not going to be fun, because it will be. Although my phone just buzzed as I was hitting the button to go live that there is a tornado watch. There's a tornado watch here where I am, which means that at any minute my entire family could come running downstairs to hide here in the studio. This is where they hide when there's tornadoes. Tornado watches. They get very worried about tornadoes. So at any moment my entire family could be here. I don't know. It's fine. It'll be fine. The point of this is to hang out and have a drink together and talk about what's happening locally, or maybe bigger than locally in the craft beer and drinking hemisphere. That's a good word. Whatever's happening. We talk about drinks and we drink them. So with that being said, you got to tell me what it is that you are drinking. And some of you are already on top of it. Let me see. We'll see what I missed here. Marco is having a truth and finishing making ribs. Okay. I could use some ribs right now. That sounds good. Julia just popped open a crowler of BC's Soft Spot Hazy IPA. And then she made some kind of symbol that I think is supposed to be a person smiling or something. I don't know. Marco says that's where I hide, my basement. You're all welcome. Come here and hide from the rain. I don't think there's going to be a tornado, but if there is, I could eat those words. We'll see. I don't have a drink. I have an empty glass, and we're going to go old school with this because I have, I think, 4 beers that are sitting on the middle shelf. I'm pretty sure we're at 4 beers. Either way, we're going to go 4 beers. There's 4 beers that I can see in the front of the middle shelf. Those are the 4 we're going to go with. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. I need 2 votes. Nope. First person that says a beer, that's what I'm going to grab. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brittany is having a Seeing Colors Double Juicy. That is not one of the choices in the fridge, although I wish it was. There's not even anything close to that. Julia says 3. That is a good choice because it's not even a beer. All right, hang on. I'm going to go grab number 3. I'll be right back. Oh, this is a fun one. Like I said, it is not even a beer. It is... This is a hard lemonade from 50 West. This is the Bomb Pop Lemonade. I think this is the last one in my house, and I'm pretty sure that this was supposed to be for my wife, but that's fine. It was in the fridge. It's fair game. Yeah, everybody says 3. All right. Everybody's all about this. Man, I wish this was Seeing Colors instead of this. This is not that this isn't good. It's fine. But this is not beer. It's pretty. Look at the color. Oh, that's pretty. All right, it's like it's pink. It's very pink. All right, let me see what we can get from the can from this. Lee is having a Rheingeist Terror Bird IPA. If you're over by Hamilton, you're under warning. It looks like. Yeah, I'm in Fairfield, so close to Hamilton. Let's see. Yeah, Josh says it's pink lemonade. Yeah, it's definitely pink lemonade. I can smell it from here. All right, it says contains alcohol. Good to know. It says 50 West Burger Bar. Hard lemonade. Bomb Pop lemonade. It's a malt beverage with natural flavors. 5% ABV. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's some words that'll tell us something. Bomb Pop. Stretching across the country, U.S. Route 50 passes through 12 states from Ocean City, Maryland to Sacramento, California. This doesn't tell me about Bomb Pop at all. It's our pleasure at the 50 West Burger Bar to serve your taste of Americana from this fabled road trip. It doesn't tell me anything about Bomb Pop. Okay. gives me the address. That's cool. Learn more at 50westbrew.com. I don't want to do that. I want to learn about it now. Okay, roll with the good times. We'll just do that. We're gonna roll. You can't read anything. My lights are all janky. I'm a bad videographer. All right, it says roll with the good times. We're gonna do that. We're gonna roll with it and drink it. All right, looks like pink lemonade. It is about as pink as you can get. This is one of the few times that what I'm seeing with my eyes looks exactly like what you're seeing. It looks like pink lemonade. But there is like that big kind of berry thing happening. All right. Prost. Prost to not at all beer. God, it smells so good. It doesn't smell to me like what I remember Bomb Pop smelling like, but maybe that's nostalgia, I guess. It smells like sugar mixed with berries, mixed with lemonade. I'm fine with that. All right. Cheers. Prost. Ezzy Zegadra. Whatever, however you want to say cheers. Oh. Okay. That's good. I now hear sirens. They're coming down at any moment. Let me I feel like I should call them and tell them it's okay to come down. Hang on. You guys can because I know she's going to be hesitant to come down, but I know she wants to. Hang on. You guys are firsthand experiencing.
Hello.
Hello. You're live on the Weekly Pint, as I'm sure you assume. If you guys want to come downstairs, that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the sirens are going off. I know that freaks you out. If you want to come down, it's okay.
Okay.
That's
all right.
fine.
We'll see if we need to.
I don't think you need to. I don't think we're going to die. If you hear the house being torn apart, please come down. If not, feel free to do whatever you do.
Okay, thank you.
That's fine. I'm drinking Bomb Pop lemonade, and I think it was probably your can that I'm drinking. So there's that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
All right, love you.
Okay, love you too. Bye.
Yeah. So my wife, mostly my kids, they freak out about the weather, and yeah, I heard sirens. So this is a weird show. This is good though. I do have things to talk about. I'm not just going to sit here and drink lemonade with you. Bomb Pop lemonade. Though that is part of what we're doing. No, we got to talk about things. And according to my notes, the first thing we got to dive into is a brewery. We've talked about this a little bit in past episodes, but they are planning a new location. And we finally have details about this new location. You know it, Bad Tom Smith. They are opening look at Marco, like just going off with my wife's name. Synonymous with anonymous, man. So Bad Tom Smith is opening we don't know if it is just a relocation of their current location or a new location in addition to their one. We haven't really figured that out yet, or they haven't figured that out yet. Maybe they have, and they haven't informed me. But they're opening a new spot, and we finally have confirmation that it's going to be in Union Township. It is going to be on Glen Estee Withamsville Road. That is out in Eastgate, if anybody doesn't know the area. They're building like a big kind of mixed-use development out there. I don't, in my head, know exactly where it is. I think it's where the school was there, maybe. I don't know. I don't know exactly. We're going to figure that out over time. But they are building a big, giant mixed-use development there. 17,000 square feet, something like that. Not all of that, obviously, Bad Tom. You're going to have 5 different parcels within it on 4 acres, kind of a big thing. A big piece of that is an expansion of a tenant or an expansion of a company that is one of the tenants. Julia says, so not in a van down by the river as we previously guessed then? Probably not. Although there may be vans there. I don't know. The Works. The Works is part of a restaurant group that you guys may be familiar with. I have been a huge proponent of By Gollies, which maybe we should talk about at some point in this episode. Julie says, chat's not showing up. You're right. It's not. Why is it not showing up is a good question. It's probably... I hear the sirens still. Okay. The chat. How do we refresh this? Okay, how do we refresh that? Let's just do that and hit that. Maybe turn it off and turn it back on. That doesn't work. Let me go back to this. Somebody type something. Okay. I don't know. Let's, good Lord. It's definitely not popping up. That's fine. While I do my, work here, somebody tell me about your feelings about Bad Tom Smith. Okay, we need chat. Well, now you told me and I have to. All right, we need embed. Nope, not that. Embed chat. Okay, now we're moving on to something. We got that. Let's try to put that. I feel like we had this problem fairly recently, too. I feel like this is going to be different on every single thing. All right, test it again. I still feel like that's going to be different on every single. This gets me confused and riled up. All right. I think that's working, right? But that's different than that, I think. Oh, man. All right. I think we're good. I think I fixed it. I think. Okay. Bad Tom Smith. Tell me your friends. Elijah says, hi, friends. Tell me your feelings about Bad Tom Smith because they are going to be part of this big mixed-use development, which I think is a good thing. I think it's a good thing for Bad Tom Smith, especially. 17,000 square feet for the whole thing. I'm looking at my notes. The Works is part of this development. They're the big restaurant tenant. That is 5,000 square feet of the development. It's a pizza, like a wood-fired pizza thing. Marco says, I've only had Bad Tom Smith at festivals. I have not been to the space. We're going to fix that soon. Bad Tom Smith themselves are going to take up 16,130 square feet of this development, 2 levels. The math doesn't add up with everything I'm looking at here. 16,000 to Bad Tom, 5,000 to... That doesn't make sense. The math doesn't make sense, but whatever. 2 levels, 16,000 square feet. There's going to be a retail space that is 2,000 square feet, a little bit over 2,000. And then office space, there are 2 different offices. There's an 8,000 square foot office and a 2,000 square foot office. An outdoor amphitheater, 175 parking spaces, which seems a little small to me, but that's fine. And that's going to sit kind of behind the development, so that from the road it still looks like kind of a town center kind of feeling. They want it to feel like a downtown area. You don't want to see a bunch of cars just parked and then have to walk through a parking lot to get to the businesses. I think it's really good. I think it was fun. But yeah, TBD, to be determined. We'll see what it actually ends up looking like. I think it's, like I said, I think it's good for Bad Tom. Julia says, those words mean nothing to me, square footing. I cannot imagine what that looks like so far. Is the footprint. Yeah, I'm trying to understand. 17,000 might be just the square footage, like from the ground, and then you've got that doubled because you've got multiple floors or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm also very itchy. So we went on vacation this weekend again, because that's what we do. We just go on vacation over and over. And we went up north to Salina, up near Grand Lake St. Mary's. And I've got bug bites all over me. Like I'm going to count with you. On my right arm, this is not including my legs, which are the most miserable right now. My right arm has 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4 bug bites there. The left arm is the worst. Hang on. I don't know if you guys can see them. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see them on the camera because I can't get myself to the right angle. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 11 on that arm. And then whatever is happening on my legs, which are driving me crazy right now. It's these bug bites, they're driving me nuts. Somebody? Anybody? Let's see. Julia says, you know, they make a spray for that. Yep. It's no fun. Thank you, Julia. Also, all right, so my front porch camera is going off. What's happening now? Okay, it's my wife coming back in the house. Where did she go? Everybody needs to just sit down and like quit setting off alarms and things. That's what I need. And an ointment. No ointment. Let's see. Lee says we visited Gatlinburg this last week. Beer scene is nothing like we have here. We're so lucky with the food and the beer around here. We just did some hiking. There's a lot to say about that, man. I took obviously, we were just talking about my vacation. I don't even think I made artwork for it because I wasn't really going to dive into it. But beer is rough when you go a lot of other places. And this was the second trip out of the Cincinnati that I took this summer with my family. And it's the second time that I was let down, like heartily let down. Julia says she was tornado watching. She might have been. She might have been out in the front yard looking for tornadoes. The first trip was up in Sandusky, and there are good breweries up there. And I went to a couple of the good breweries up there, and we had some great beer, and we had some great times. But you walk into any bar, and there wasn't like good local beer. There was good beer. Like, you get Rhinegeist Truth. We get Great Lakes Stortmunder, and it was great. It was fine. But kind of the same thing happened with this trip. There are a couple breweries up in the part of Ohio that we were at. We were Grand Lake St. Mary's, which has 3 breweries in the immediate area. One of them, the closest one to us, was Lake Rat Brewing. I've been to them many times every year since they were open, since before they were open, actually. We stop there every year, and the beer has gotten a lot worse to the point, and I hope he's not listening, but the beer is bad right now. Like I drank, I think, throughout the course of the weekend, I think I had 5, maybe 6 beers that they made, which I think was everything that they made that was on tap, and they were all terrible. They were all terrible. Nothing was good. The ones that were drinkable were hidden behind fruit and sourness, which it was fine. It was not good beer. At one time, the beer was fine. It was never great, but it was fine. It's not even fine anymore. It's bad, and that's the closest brewery to where we were. The next closest would probably be either Muller in Muller Brew Barn in Maria Stein, or Tailspin over in Coldwater, I believe. And both of those are okay. They're fine. Tailspin is definitely better than Muller Brew Barn, but you can't find Tailspin anywhere on tap. I'm guessing they're still trying to keep caught up with selling in their tap room, which is great and good for them, and that's probably exactly what it should be. Whereas Muller is distributing, and it's fine. It's just fine. But I actually have some. I was gonna drink that tonight, but I didn't put it in the fridge, so it's still sitting on the stairs to come down. It's fine. Fine. And then there's one other one. It's Gun Gosler's. Goon Gosler's. I've never been there. I've never had the beer. I couldn't find it anywhere. I saw one place that said they had it on tap, and then they didn't, and I was disappointed. But I've never tried it. But they're up there in that region somewhere. I think further northwest, maybe. No, maybe not. I don't know. They're over there somewhere, but you can't find it anywhere. And like, you come to Cincinnati, and like, you walk into any bar, and the tap list is full of local beer. And what was maybe this makes me feel good about Cincinnati. Maybe it's sad. I don't know. But like, you walk into any bar up there, and you can get a lot of Cincinnati beer. Like, in fact, when we first got there, I made my wife drop me off at one of the breweries, Lake Rat. She dropped me off there, and I'm like, I just need to roll through the tap list. I'm gonna just start working my way through a flight. She had to go to the grocery store to stock up the fridge for the weekend. And I said, you go grocery shopping, leave me here, and then pick me up when you're done. But text me when you get to the beer aisle, because I might need you to get me some beer if I'm not happy with what I'm drinking here. And sure enough, when she texted me, I said, yeah, I'm not taking any of this beer home. I don't want this in the fridge. This is not what I want to drink at the end of the night when I'm sitting by the fire pit looking at the lake and smoking a cigar, getting bit by bugs. That's not what I want. And so she texts me, and she's like, okay, there's a lot of beer here. We're good. I found the beer aisle. That's okay. Start rolling through. What's local? She's like, well, there's 50 West, there's Wiedemann, there's Rheingeist, there's Mad Tree, there's Urban Artifact. She just started going down the list, and everything was Cincinnati beer. It was all Cincinnati beer. I don't know. Like, it's great. It makes me happy. I'm glad. It's, it's only 2 hours from home. It makes sense that, of course, it would be Cincinnati beer, but there was nothing local. The only thing local-ish was Muller Brew Barn, which is, of course, what I got because I'm a glutton for punishment. But I'm sorry, like, it's not in the same category. It's not as good. The beer isn't as good, and that I don't know how we get past that. I don't know how we get to that next stage for some of these other breweries. I don't know how we keep growing. Elijah says not even Dayton standards like Warped Wing. Yeah, Warped Wing was there. There was Warped Wing, I think, if I remember right. But like, if I have a choice between mediocre local beer, Cincinnati beer, or then Dayton beer, like, I'm first choice is mediocre local. Second choice would be Cincinnati, and then Dayton would be 3, unless I'm in Dayton, and then that obviously becomes local. I don't know, man. It's there wasn't as much Dayton beer as there should have been. There wasn't as much Columbus beer as there should have been. There's like, if you take like a little bubble of kind of that middle Ohio spot there, west of Columbus. Like there's a decent amount of breweries, and some of them are pretty good. Why isn't there beer there? Their beer should be everywhere. I don't know how to handle that. Without getting like too hung up on just vacation, because I could go on and on about my vacation woes. We do have other things to talk about. It's not just Bad Tom and bug bites. We also got to talk about my favorite season. It's Oktoberfest season, and I am thrilled to finally see Oktoberfest beers on the shelves. I love Oktoberfest. As most of you know, hopefully, I have not started this year's bracket. I've not even started collecting beers for the bracket. I'm waiting just a little bit. We're close, though. They're starting to appear. I imagine within the next, I'm going to say 2 or so weeks, we'll have the first showdowns happening for this year's bracket. We'll see how big the bracket is this year. I already know there are beers that are going to be in the bracket that weren't last year. So I'm excited that maybe it's going to be bigger than it was. I would love to see a shakeup with who wins it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll also see how the finals go. I cannot formally announce a date for the finals, but as soon as I can, I will. And as soon as I can confirm that it will be during Cincy Beer Week, I will confirm that. But that's what I'm shooting for if you didn't put that together. I'm hoping for the finals to be sometime during the week. I encourage everybody to take the week of Cincy Beer Week, which is October 4th through the 13th. Is that right? I encourage everybody to take that entire week off of work. Don't do anything except drink beer. That's what I encourage. Julia says, is it still going to be at Sonder? Still. I cannot confirm that yet. They get first dibs at the finals because they won last year. I need to reach out to them and see if they are wanting to host it, and if they want to host it when they want to host it, and then they can host it, and then we will host it there. Sorry, I have texts coming in. So we'll see. I will let you guys know. But Beer Week, there's going to be something every single day. They may not every single day be my events, but there will be something every day that you're going to want to go to. So put it on your calendar. Pencil it in the whole week. Just scribble it out. It's going to be fun. That's the moral of the story. Oktoberfest, I think there is like this this thing every year that everybody likes to talk about. Seasonal creep. Does it happen too soon? We do this every single year, and I tell people every year it's not any sooner than it was last year. Nobody's releasing their Oktoberfest quicker than before. Oktoberfest has always come out in July. It's always come out about the same time, and everybody always complains that it's too soon. That doesn't mean that the season is creeping into another season. Maybe it's too soon. That's debatable. But it's not shifting. It's not changing. And I'm kind of all about it. like right now I'm ready for Oktoberfest beers. I would have been really happy this weekend sitting by a lake in the evenings when the temperature dropped. Like it was in the 50s. Like it was like high 50s, but it was 50s. I had to wear a hoodie, like sitting outside by the lake, sitting by a fire pit. You know what would have tasted good? An Oktoberfest. You know what I couldn't find? An Oktoberfest. That's a problem, but it would have been good. That's what I wanted. And that should mean something, and I feel like people are on the right track as far as timing. It's fine. Julia says, buying Oktoberfest beers seriously cuts into my buy a 12-foot tall skeleton budget. It's fine. He can hold Oktoberfest beers, and you can just wrap it all into the same budget, I think. I think there's some kind of math there. I do want to talk about Lagerfest. That's on my list, but I definitely want to talk about first. This one I can leave a button for. See if this works. Oh, yeah. What's going on at Listerman? And I'm going to try to keep the show fairly concise as far as timing goes. What's going on at Listerman? They announced on social media that they are closing their kitchen temporarily. And that raises a whole bunch of questions for me. Why? Why are you closing your kitchen? Is it because you're not getting enough business to your kitchen? Is it because you don't have staff to run the kitchen? Is it because the menu isn't working for what you want out of your kitchen? Why? Tell us why you're closing your kitchen, or else we're all going to start, like I'm doing right now, making our own assumptions in our heads about why you've decided to do this. And I think my assumption, my just complete assumption, this is not based on fact. It could be based on fact if I could get them to schedule a podcast with me. We could talk about what's actually going on, but yeah. If anybody from Listerman is listening or listening after the fact, just schedule the podcast. We'll talk about it. I don't have to assume things. I assume that the reason that they're closing their kitchen is because everybody is quitting. That's my assumption, just based on my experience, because the last few times that I've been in the Listerman tap room, everybody that's been in there has been on like their last week of being there. They are happy to be there and they've given me good service and everything. But they say, oh, by the way, I'm not going to be here next week. I'm leaving. I'm going to X place. Or, hey, I'm leaving and I'm going here. Or somebody just disappears and then I run into them somewhere else. And I'm like, hey, I didn't know you were here. Yep, I left Listerman. There's a lot of that happening, and I don't know why. I would love to speculate why, but I don't know without talking to people. Marcus says could be. Yeah, that's my assumption. I'm assuming, and that's assuming is not a good thing to do, and we should not do it. But I feel confident in my assumption that we were having some staffing issues, getting the kitchen staffed. And that's where I'm at. What does that mean for Listerman? What does that mean for where Listerman is right now and where they're going in the short term? What does it mean for where they're going in the long term? Man, there's a lot of questions there. And I've heard some fun speculation from other people about where they think they're going. Sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't. But I'm curious what you guys think. If anybody has been to Listerman recently, if you've had the beer, had the food, had the service experience, where do you see Listerman today? Where do you see Listerman tomorrow? Where were they 6 months ago? How does all of that fit into some kind of cohesive thought about who is Listerman right now? Because I don't even know. I don't know well enough. I desperately want to sit down and talk to them to get a good picture of who they are right now. I have my weird anecdotal experience of Listerman currently, but it's not a fair picture just looking at one tiny piece of it. Julia says they posted the other day the kitchen was closed due to an unforeseen staffing issue. Okay, and I didn't see the unforeseen staffing issue, but that confirms everything I think. She said now it's closed and definitely, temporarily, indefinitely, lots of pieces to the puzzle. Yeah, I think that answers it all to me, and I didn't know the two posts. Elijah says, the last time I tried to buy homebrew supplies there about 8 months ago, it was appalling. Out-of-date yeast, old hops, worse grain selection. That's not what anybody wants to hear. It's a if we'll put it this way. If what Elijah is saying is true, And if that is what Listerman is today, it's an abomination. It's not what Listerman should be. It is a middle finger to the legacy of the Listerman name, or at least on the brewing supply side. Yeah, it's terrible. I hate it. Hate it. Julia says unforeseen staffing post was a day ago and it's still up. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that one. So we're talking one day. So day one, you post you have unforeseen staffing issues. And then the next day, you post that your kitchen is closed due to temporarily, indefinitely. Yeah, it's staffing issues. Like people are quitting and you don't know what to do. Man, there's a lot to be said about that. Ben says, have you ever brewed your own beer? I have. In fact, hang on. I can't get it cold enough tonight, but I'm going to put it in the cooler right now. This is, if I can get to it, it's back here. Hang on. It's back here somewhere. It's down here. Okay. Hang on. I need a flashlight. It's in here somewhere. All right. I see it down there. Hang on. All right. Oh. You gotta handle it like a time bomb. Oh. And of course, we got a phone call right as I'm answering. All right, hang on. Hey, you're on the Weekly Pint. Who is this?
Hey, it's
You-
Marco.
You
Just by
called.
the way,
You
is
called
this-
right as I was fishing a beer out of the cellar. It was very complicated.
So, first time I called today. I've been listening. Great show. Just, I'm not going to be long. Just want to say, as far as the Listerman Kitchen, I don't know what they were serving. I don't know what the menu was. I don't know what the situation is. But if you don't have enough staff and it's not going well, in my world,
Uh-huh.
I become the cook. And
Sure.
You may hear Vincent in the background, by the way. So you may have pizzas made by me. You may have burgers made by me. It's not a long-time solution. It's a one-day solution.
Right.
It shouldn't be. You hire people for that stuff.
Well,
but
that only works
I
to
don't-
that only works to like some level. Like if you have your entire production and I'm not saying entire. I don't know this the case with Listerman. Hypothetically, if you're a brewery, we're going to call you Lobsterman. If you're a Lobsterman brewery,
yeah.
and your production staff quits and your taproom staff quits and then your kitchen staff quits, you can't do all of it. One person can't do all of that.
Well, I mean,
That's where
may be in a-
my brain is being hypothetical right now, where I'm making assumptions.
I may be a little bit different where I could give me a few days. I could just figure it out in maybe a minimal capacity.
Right.
But yeah, me trying to make everyone's or the full menu to everyone's expectations might fall short. But it sounds like there's a lot of change, a lot of tumult going on over there, and it could be maybe the best thing to shut down one part if you can hurry up and quickly bring in another food option. Move your puzzle pieces around. Hey, we're going to have this food option hanging around, and then you try and figure out the brewing scenario, if this is a domino effect, both for not just serving front of the house, food back of the house, and then production. But anyways, that's my 2 cents. I'm gonna get off here because the ribs are done. I'm going to eat and watch and listen to the rest. So cheers, buddy.
Fantastic. Thanks for calling in.
Certainly. See you. Bye.
Julia says fail emoji because as Marco was talking, I was trying to make the emojis and it's not working, but I figured out a way that I can just make them when I want them. You want to see balloons? Balloons. Nope, they're not delayed. I'm just making them. I figured this out. I can also make this one here. This is some kind of rain cloud. What is this? Oh, that's fun. Here's some confetti. Yay, party. The fireworks. Everybody loves this is the laser show. Sorry. Laser show's good. This is the fireworks. We like that. We've also got a thumbs down. Wah, wah. That's fun. Figured out how to do that. But supposedly they're on now. Let's see. Let's see if it works. All right. All right. We're stretching. We're ready. Here we go with the emoji. Thumbs up. I've broke it. I've broke it forever. I turned it off, and now I can't ever get it back. It's left me. I have to hit buttons now. Whatever. The point of this to me, we're of course making assumptions about Listerman. Text, and I don't actually know what it's about. It's fine. We'll text later. I'm assuming something about Listerman that's not healthy to do. But the only thing that makes sense is if everybody quit, right? Right. It's wild speculation. Whatever. All right, moving on. Let's go back to Lagerfest because Lagerfest is happening next weekend. Is that right? Today's the 29th. Next weekend is next weekend. Lagerfest. I'm going to be there, and I hope that you'll be there too because Lagerfest is one of, I'm going to say top for me, top 3 festivals in the city. I think that Northern Row is onto something. I think that they have captured a piece of their history as a brewery, as a space, and I think that celebrating not just the actual beer, speaking of lager, but finding a way to wrap in the history of the city into that also. Yeah, it does everything for me. It captures exactly what I want them to be doing. I love it. It makes me happy, and I can't wait to be there. And you should be there too. Get your tickets, and make sure you buy the tickets that get you a tour of the underground lagering tunnels that are around OTR. Depending on which tour you book, you can tour either the Link cellars or the Jackson cellars. I've been through the Jackson cellars a couple times, and they're amazing. They're wonderful. I've never been in the Link cellars, so that's where I'm leaning right now. Not right now. I already got my tickets. I'm touring the Link cellars in the morning. So if you see me, say hi. Going back to who was it that asked about homebrew? Let's see. Let me scroll back here. Ben asked if I had ever brewed my own beer. I have. I still have. This is one of 3 bottles of that last batch of homebrew. This is going to be terrible. Terrible. It is a Dunkelweizen, I believe, in theory. It probably tastes like a delicious green apple something or other. Yeah, 3 bottles of it left. I've been sitting on it for God knows why. At this point, I don't even want to say how old this is. We brewed this when we first moved into our house, so I'm gonna guess. That this is at least. This is probably 12 years old. It's probably a 12-year-old Dunkelweizen. So I'm going to put this in my fridge there, and we're going to add it into one of the rows so that at some point we just accidentally drink it on this show. I would drink it now, but it's room temperature, and that would be terrible. Julia says, let's open it. Not tonight. Different night. And like I said, I have 2 other bottles, so maybe you guys will get to try one some other day. I don't even want to put this like in my car in the trunk. I don't know what. Actually, the sediment's not bad, but in the car for an extended trip, it's gonna stir that up. It's nothing about this sounds tasty to me. I'm gonna put it in there. There's no way I'm gonna stay up that late tonight, but if in an hour I'm still thirsty, maybe I'll open it. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna put it in there. Let me wrap this up. There's 2 more bottles. Anything could happen. Julia says, party at the Gnarly Tavern. Sure. It doesn't taste like beer. It's going to taste like a cider. That's what it's going to taste like. I guarantee it. I'm a terrible brewer. I've accepted that in my life. That's why this was the last batch of beer that I ever made, because I'm not as good as everybody else. I don't need to be. I'm going to drink this pink lemonade. It just smells like sugar. It tastes like sugar. It tastes like delicious fizzy sugar. It's good. Oh man. Julia brings up a big topic that at 50 minutes we don't really have time for. Thoughts on Urban Artifact suing the state of Pennsylvania. They have to. Somebody has to. If you've got these states that are creating an unfair advantage, it's wrong. Ben says you should try and do some more homebrew. I'd buy Gnarly Gnome beer. If you like beer that I have a hand in making, you should go ahead and mark on your calendar for, what is that, hang on, let me get the date perfect here. October 12th, 10/12/2024, for the release of this year's Big Sis. I promise that I will have something to do with making that beer. It's not going to be my beer. I'm not going to be the only one making it. There will be people making sure I don't make it taste like whatever this tastes like. But that is a collaboration beer that we make every year, and it's going to be delicious. So put that on your calendar. Come drink it at Darkness Brewing. We'll have more details coming up soon. But you don't want to drink this. You don't want to buy this. Nobody wants to pay for this. Yeah, so Urban Artifact needs to be the one to kind of put themselves out there. If something is unfair, they can throw their elbows around and let people know what's going on. And I think that's important, and I appreciate them being the ones that are able to do that. There's a lot of weird stuff happening in craft beer. There's always been weird stuff happening in the alcohol industry, and yeah, it's fine. I'm okay with it. I appreciate them doing that. Let's wrap this up so I can get this beer in the fridge and maybe drink it tonight, because I'm curious now what it tastes like. Limited edition, 1 of 3. We'll be back next week. If you guys like this show, if you like any of the things I do, you know how to support. You go to thegnarlygnome.com/support, and you can support that way. And there are, I've said this before, but I promise that there is packages in the works coming soon with some fun stuff that I'm working on. So support, and it helps. Julie says cheers. I say cheers. Thank you guys very much. We will see you very soon. Very soon. Maybe sooner than anybody wants me to go live again, but we'll see you. Either way, just keep doing what you do. Without you guys, none of this actually exists. So know that I do appreciate it, and I appreciate the support that all of you guys give to make this thing be a thing. My family's not down here, so that means that there was not a tornado. That's good news. Good news for everybody. We'll see you next week. That should be making noise. And it's not. Good Lord. One of these days, we'll figure this out. We have no outro music. That's fine. We'll, might have to play it from the computer. Good Lord. Here I thought it was like all being smooth and getting it all figured out right. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Jeez. I think I can probably see if I don't put it into the recording, I still have to mix it in later. So we'll do it the old-fashioned way. We'll pull this up here and do this here. Okay. It's not happy with that. Well, maybe that's my problem with everything. Oh, I see. We gotta go here. This is fun, right, guys? We're making a podcast. The amount of people that ask me like questions about podcasts, like, oh, how do I do this and how do I do that? I don't know how to do anything. Like, I just make this up every week as I go along, and I usually screw it up. Like, this is not anything anybody should ever take advice about. All right, we'll put that there. And we'll put that there. Okay. Okay. I think we gotta do that. It's fine. Like I said before, I appreciate you guys more than I can tell you, because you hang in there when all of this stuff is happening, and it shouldn't be happening. I've made way too many shows to have these same issues over and over, so I appreciate it. Let's do this, and we'll click this, and then that's not even working. Holy crap, that's fine. All right. Thank you guys. Whatever. We'll be back next week. I'll put the music in post, because I don't know why nothing's working. Something's broken. I'm gonna go put this in the fridge and probably go live later. We'll see ya. Cheers, everybody. Have a good night. Hopefully there's no tornadoes. Be safe. Hang out in your basement and drink beer. That's the right way to do it, right? Cheers, everybody. Just so I can edit it in later. It's weird not having outro music. Makes me feel something. Makes me feel something about myself. Man.